Hello everyone and welcome to Brewed in Barnsley with your host me, Matt McGlone. Each episode I'll be joined by a well-known Barnsley personality to discuss how living here has shaped their lives. On this month's episode, I'm joined by Joe and Leah Washington-Pugh. Hi guys, welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you both?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, very well, thank you.
It's a bit cold outside today.
It is.
It's not really warm in here, to
I
be
feel
honest.
like I've not warmed up at all today.
No, like, the weather's just horrendous. Like, I'm just ready for summer.
I know. Oh, me too, I think.
All we keep doing is looking at holidays.
Yeah, I
We
know.
need some
Yeah.
sunshine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like every
Yeah.
single night we're just like trying to book stuff, or like we have booked stuff and it's just, yeah.
Where are you planning?
We've got Milan booked for next month. And then I've got a stag do. Leah's got a hen do the same weekend to Portugal and Marbella.
We've got Parma.
We've got Parma.
The list could be, yeah, we could.
Yeah, we've got either like Ibiza or Greece in May.
Amazing.
And then
Undecided.
we haven't decided yet. And then Dubai again at back end of year.
What's wrong with good old Barnsley?
I know.
It's too cold.
Too cold. We just need some sun here and then we'll be sound.
Well, I am going on a cruise this year, my first one actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
Ticks a few countries off a list, doesn't it, in one
Yeah,
go?
yeah,
So yeah,
That'd be
that'll be nice. Yeah, not long to wait.
yeah.
So guys, you guys are here today really because amazingly, I can't believe it's been 10 years. Since most people will know you from being in the Alton Towers crash on the Smiler 10 years ago. And we'll talk a little bit about your fundraising and what you're doing a little bit later in the podcast. But
Yeah.
I think we have to start with that day, if you're all right to sort of relive that.
Yeah, it's fine.
What, for anyone that doesn't know, what happened on that day to you both? I don't know where you want to start.
You go ahead.
Well, we were at Alton Towers having a nice day. Queued up for the Smiler ride, and it kept like breaking down. But I'd been to theme parks before, and it was quite normal, so I weren't worried. And then we finally got on the ride. It set off fine, and then we got like stuck at the top of the hill. We were stuck there for about 20
Yeah,
minutes.
20 minutes, half hour, something like that.
And like they said over at Tannoy, like, don't worry, everything's fine. We're just having a few technical difficulties and then we'll be setting you back off. And we're like, oh yeah, that's fine. Taking in the view. And then they set us back off. Went round a few times and then we just turned this corner and there was just a cart stuck on the track. And we just crashed straight into it.
What was the reason for it being there again as well?
It was human error,
Right.
miscommunication.
Yeah, so it was like a test cart that had been sent round.
Because of the issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that was just standard procedure. Like it was nothing out of ordinary. And they'd send that round. The weather were like quite bad on the day. Like it was quite windy.
Yeah.
And because of the weight distribution, there wasn't any weight in the cart. So I think when it was making its way around the track, the wind kind of counteracted
Pushed it
the weight
back, yeah.
as such, yeah, and it kind of pushed it to not make the loop. There obviously is sensors and stuff like that on the ride that said that there were an obstruction in the way, but like Leah said, obviously with human error, that kind of got overrode. And basically they'd said there were a glitch in the system kind of, and set it off, it's fine. So what happened when it got stuck at the top was correct. Like that is what should have
should have
happened.
been there.
Yeah.
But then that shouldn't have obviously been there.
Yeah.
It should have been moved away.
Yeah.
So then the impact happened and you guys were at the front,
Yeah.
weren't you? So what were the extent of your injuries from that?
I had to have my left leg amputated above the knee. I had a big cut in the right knee, and while I was on the ride, they actually radioed to the hospital and said it could have been a double amputation. They weren't sure.
There were blood flowing in.
Yeah.
Because Leah
I
were
was
losing
losing.
like so much blood, like at such a rapid rate. They were saying pretty much like she could have died there and then because there were that much blood loss. Like I can't remember the exact amount of pints that were flown in,
Quite a lot.
but it were a lot of blood that were flowing in on the day and kind of given whilst we were involved in obviously this accident. So yeah, it weren't great.
Well, no, I can imagine. No, well, I can't imagine at all.
Yeah.
But
So then that were all going off, and then obviously we had the other two that were involved. They had their injuries, like I had my injuries. Like there were just a lot going off.
yeah, and your injuries were on your kneecaps. Right?
Yeah, so I had both my knees shattered. So in total, I've only actually got one full kneecap now because I've got half in both. And then my little finger on my left hand got snapped off. And then had to be reattached at the hospital because it was still hanging on, but not a lot. So yeah,
because I remember the story, and it took a while for them to sort of get you off there as well
Yeah.
because of where it was and all the complications as
Yeah.
well. So yeah,
You were about 4 hours. Wasn't
yeah,
it?
4 hours in total from start to finish.
yeah,
Obviously, different people who were on the ride got taken off at different moments in time. Leah were the third off.
Yeah.
You were the third off. So you were probably about 3.5, 4 hours out of the last off. So obviously, whatever time it took, that was how long it took. So our last one off. So yeah, but I'd probably say 4 to 4.5 hours in total.
Yeah, it were a long time, weren't it?
yeah. I just can't imagine how traumatic that was. And reading your story as well, it was almost a sliding doors type moment in a way that you had decided last minute to go to Alton Towers.
Yeah.
And
We'd been out for a meal the night before with my family, and we were like, do we go to Escape? Or
Yeah.
do we go to Alton Towers? And we literally woke up the morning of it, and
Yeah.
we both texted each other saying, let's go to Alton Towers.
Yeah.
Because whether it weren't raining, it weren't too bad in Barnsley. But I don't think we got there till about 11:30.
Yeah, it was quite
And we went
late.
straight to Smiler.
Yeah.
so that was your first ride of the day.
Yeah, that was
as well,
first stop.
Wow. Yeah. It's unbelievable. And I still can't believe it's been 10 years
I know.
since then.
It's crazy to think it's been 10 years.
Yeah. Well,
nearly-
obviously coming
nearly
up to 10 years. It's 10 years on 2nd of June.
Yeah.
But everybody that we speak to, like, it's always the same reaction. It's like, what? Like 10 years? Like that's, it's just flown. Like it honestly has, like we were obviously so young when it happened. Like you were 18,
I was
17, I were 18. And we're now like coming up to the next point of his lives, like obviously coming up to 30, like it just seems so far away, so long ago that it happened.
Yeah. And this might seem a really obvious question, but how did it change your life? You know, how much? I can imagine
Massively.
Yeah.
the impact. What did you have to go through to sort of, because now you both seem to be very positive with what you're up to, and you're talking about it. But how did you get to that point? What was the process?
I think
How did
just
that
talking
take?
about it. We had to speak, because obviously we had like a compensation claim. We had to speak about it so much with loads of different people that I think we have to. We're a bit like counselling, weren't
Yeah.
it? Because everyone wanted to know the full story. Everyone wanted to know from thread to needle what happened, and I think just speaking about it and speaking about it and speaking about it has just helped
just
us
became
come.
second nature,
yeah,
didn't it?
and it helped us understood what happened
Yeah.
and come to terms with everything.
I think as well, like, we were talking about it so often, like, there weren't a day that went by that the day that the accident happened to, like, probably even a few years after, there weren't a day that we didn't speak to a solicitor, didn't speak to a counsellor, didn't speak to some former journalist. Like, there were always something every week, there was something pending to speak about.
Yeah.
So I think, like Leah says, like, it did end up just being a form of counselling. And you become a little bit robotic to it. You're just repeating the same thing over and over again, and I think you just become a bit numb to it.
Yeah.
I'm quite amazed that did help in that. I'm not talking about it helped,
Yeah.
but the whole media
Yeah.
that surrounded it, did that not affect you in a negative way, or did you find that did help? I don't know. 'Cause
Sometimes it were negative because there were just a lot of fake information, weren't there?
Yeah.
They'd just plucked from our Instagrams and
Yeah, like we'd
just
get
made a
messages,
story up.
messages or like calls from like friends and family being like, "What's this that you're doing?" Like what? And we're like, we don't even know ourselves. Like we don't know where this story's come from. We don't
Yeah.
know like it's not true. Like, there was so much fake news out there that we obviously couldn't control. Anything that we were doing in the press were coming from us, apart from things that journalists were stealing, or if there were like photos and stuff that had been taken while we were away. That's the only things that we couldn't obviously control when it came to that. But yeah, we're lucky. We've never been trolled as such or had like any negative
No, we've had a few.
direct comments is what I mean.
No, we've had no direct comments, but we've had a few, like, not nice. Like, people, when obviously it said that we were going to get compensation claim, and when it were estimated how much I were going to get, and people used to write, like, oh, I'd lose my leg for £1 million.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but you didn't actually understand the
But
full
you wouldn't.
extent.
Yeah.
If I could go back today, right now, back to my 17-year-old and not go on that ride, I won't do it. If I knew what would happen, because it's not worth it. It has changed his life forever. It's a lot harder, not to sound negative, but it's not easy every day, is it?
No.
It's not.
I think people forget, I mean, the age you were at the time is when you were thinking about going to university and almost starting your life, I suppose, in many ways. And you two, it was your first date. One of your first dates, wasn't it? You were together not very long before it happened.
Yeah.
It was his first, like,
Day out.
day
as
out.
such.
We'd
Yeah.
been seeing it for a while, but it
Yeah.
was his first, like, day out.
Like activity doing something rather than just going out for food or cinema or something like that.
So I imagine, obviously, it's changed you in many ways, but as it must have just completely changed the course of your life, I imagine, from what you were thinking about wanting to do at that age as a career or where you wanted to travel to or whatever. It must have just changed everything about you.
Well, I should have gone to uni that September. I've never made it to university. Partly my choice.
I'm going to say, is that out of choice now?
I deferred it for a year. I should have done my teaching qualification. Deferred it for a year after the accident, and then realised that it's probably going to take me a long time to get to be a teacher, just like exhaustion and many other things. I'm now a teaching assistant, so I'm kind of in the similar profession, but I'm not quite a teacher. But it's changed everything.
Yeah.
I
think the main thing is obviously, apart from physical changes, it's just the outlook on life. That's the main change, like 100%. Like
more positive.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I don't know if we were really positive people before, or like we had a good outlook on life before. Like, I won't like to say we were so young. I couldn't even think back to think.
You were probably as positive as anyone was at 17.
17.
My life, like when we were first getting together, I were going out every weekend, and I were getting absolutely hammered that I couldn't remember what I'd done the day before. Like, and Leah was still getting to that stage because obviously she was slightly younger. I can't remember if I had a positive outlook on life or not. Like at that age,
you were just living.
Yeah, exactly.
You were doing what any other.
We were doing what any other 18-year-old would do. Yeah. But now we're so much more positive. This is why we were saying, like, we work to go on holiday, like, and do things. Like, life's too short. You need to just do things and enjoy it.
Yeah. So something so horrendous has changed your lives, obviously in a negative way, but also there are some positives coming from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Definitely.
what are you guys up to nowadays then? You've just mentioned about teaching assistant.
Yeah, I'm a teaching
You're
assistant.
into fitness now as well.
Yeah, so I work full-time for a Barnsley company called BAP Industrial, or BAP for Bolts, you may also know it as. So I've worked for them now for 3 years, absolutely love it. And then I've just started, obviously, a training page on Instagram. So I'm into gym and fitness and stuff like that. So I just thought, I'm just going to put myself out there. I'm just going to start kind of recording sessions. And yeah, just kind of working on that as well. It's just something that I enjoy doing, so why not?
Yeah, I can't do the fitness thing. Do you know what? I've got a personal training session tonight and I'm panicking about it. I'm like, I need to get fitter, so I might come to you for some.
It's the worst. Like, we're both on training plans at the minute and we're going out for food later and we're both like tracking calories and stuff like that. And Leah's been like all day like, shit, I don't know what I can eat and I don't know what I can't eat. And yeah, but Yeah,
It's
we both enjoy training and we both enjoy that kind of thing, to be fair, don't
Yeah. I've got to keep fit to keep my body moving, so
we? Yeah.
I've got no choice.
Is that part of
Yeah.
the transition then?
Yeah. So I used to have physio quite a lot, and then it slowly transitioned into just try and keep fit at home, in the gym, walking, doing what I can really. Because having like set physio every week is just not sustainable forever. So
Yeah.
it's been transformed into a gym session.
Yeah, it's not
instead.
enjoyable either. Like,
No.
fitness and training industry now is like so big and like so like saturated. Like everybody's doing it. So I feel like there's so many people out there that we can both kind of look to
Yeah.
get inspiration from when it comes to training to fit around both of his lifestyles. Really.
Do you feel a bit of I don't know how to put that. Almost, you're now doing quite a lot, Leah, with body positivity, aren't you?
Yeah.
Do you think that's something that you feel like you need to do now as well? It's
I do in a way, yeah.
Yeah.
I get a lot of messages from like other amputees, like how do you feel so comfortable wearing shorts?
Yeah.
How do you feel so comfortable in a bikini? And it's taken me a long time to get to that place.
I think that's what I mean. I think after now you've got to that point,
Yeah.
you want to kind of share that with other
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
and tell them that, hey, you should be confident.
Yeah.
And
I literally had a woman message me not that long ago, saying like she's really struggling. She'll not, like in summer she'll cover up and she's too hot and X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, I've been there, I've done that, and I looked to myself and I thought, why am I doing this for other people? I'm walking around sweating because I'm trying to cover up what's part of me,
yeah.
and I don't know what happened, but I just stopped, didn't I? And now.
Yeah, I can't even remember a time when you stopped.
I think it was during COVID. I had some issues with one of my prosthetic legs, and I had no choice but to wear the one that looks like a prosthetic leg because I had one that had a silicone cover on and it looked realistic. So I had that from pretty much day one. And then during COVID, I had a lot of issues with it and then had no choice but to wear my normal prosthetic leg. And it's from then it kind of just, I realised it's not worth. Because the silicone was so heavy, it was so restrictive.
Right.
Where now I've got none of that, and it just made my life so much easier. I were in half the pain, and I just thought, why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah.
And it was like a light bulb moment where I was like, I'm not,
Yeah.
just get rid of it, I don't want it anymore. And
So do you see yourselves as influencers in a way nowadays, or probably not the right term?
I wouldn't say I'm,
No, I hate that word.
Yes.
Like,
I'm not a fan of it. And I just used it, and I'm like, I don't think that's the right way. I'm trying to think of the way I would describe it.
I don't know, I'd probably just say I like to, and I always say my Instagram's open. If anybody wants to message me on Instagram with any questions, anything at all, I'm happy to talk to anybody. If I don't know the answer, then I probably know somebody that does.
yeah. Like Leah uses her platform, should we say, on Instagram as a really positive
Yeah.
message through her posts. Like, yeah, she'll do like outfit posts and stuff like that, but she will do like bikini pictures that she'll have like a caption explaining like X, Y, and Z of why she's doing it, what she's wearing, how she's feeling, and stuff like that, which is portraying a good message, not only to other people with disability, but just girls in general. Like, I feel like there's this massive like thing with girls at the minute with body image, and nobody ever feels comfortable because there's so many other, like you say, influencers online that don't portray a real life.
Your positive influences.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's so many people on Instagram now we're following is just they post what they want others to see.
Yeah.
They don't show any negative parts of their actual life. And we probably are guilty of it, to be fair.
In some respect, yeah, we are.
Yeah, like we've just been Maldives for honeymoon and weather on some days were horrendous, but we didn't share that. We didn't want people thinking, oh my God, they've gone all that way up weather shit. Like, we just wanted people to think it was mint all the time.
Yeah.
But it weren't. And people that we're close to and are friends, we know that. But online presence, Didn't need to know that.
Well, you just mentioned your honeymoon there.
Yeah.
That means you have got recently married
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I think that's incredible as well that you've stayed together.
Yeah.
Was it difficult keeping the relationship going after something so traumatic that you both
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the beginning, more so.
Yeah, definitely. We're just, you had appointments, I had appointments. Like my life, when accident happened, I was 17. I'd just started like going out and having that bit of independence, and then that day happened, and it was like right back to being like 12 again, where my mum and dad had to do everything for me and couldn't go anywhere on my own, and it was just crazy. And you were the same.
Yeah.
Your mum and dad were driving you everywhere. You couldn't really go anywhere on your own. So we were both had no independence.
Yeah.
So then we didn't really do much together on his own.
No. And then obviously we'd lost all this independence, but then had so much stuff thrown in between. We're like what we were saying earlier, with press, with appointments, with solicitors, all that kind of stuff. The time just went. And because we were obviously both fighting separate legal battles, we were never at like same meetings or anything like that. So like our solicitors were London based, so we'd sometimes go and see a solicitors, but we'd be in London, so I could be there one week, Leah could be there next week, and vice versa. We, like I say again, interviews and stuff like that.
And appointments.
Nothing happened from home, so we were always like never here.
It was pre-COVID and
we never
virtual.
we never had a home. We obviously did have a home base, but we were never there. We were always Manchester, Leeds, London. Like there were always somewhere that we would be in. So then it made it so difficult to see each other.
And you were at uni.
Yeah, like there were just a lot going on.
Yeah.
And like we've been asked before, do you think you stayed together like just because of ease and like just because you knew like each other and
you had like shared experience.
Yeah.
And
I think, in all honesty, at the beginning, maybe so. Maybe we did think, well, this is it now. This is what we should do. This is what we need to do. Looking back now, I completely disagree. Like, I don't think that were the case at all. But I do think that probably did come into his minds at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And talking about, I mean, you mentioned about being really positive about things. When did it get to that point, do you think? Because it could have gone either way, couldn't it?
Oh, definitely.
You could have.
And it
You
still,
could have given
it
up
still
and got
can.
apart.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
Still can.
Yeah. So who sort of helped you through that? When did you get to that point when you felt?
I have no idea.
Friends and family.
Definitely friends and family.
We had counselling and therapy, and we didn't. Neither of us really took to it, did it?
No.
Like we just weren't. It just weren't for us. I know it helps a lot of people, but it just didn't for us at all. Like we just did not get that connection talking to somebody that we didn't know. It was just very robotic, weren't it, for us? I don't know when we got here.
I think it's just been a bit of a whirlwind kind of. Like that day happened, we're in hospital in this little like bubble with friends and family coming to visit most days. All nurses were so lovely and made it like a little home for us and were just so lovely to us. And then you come home and you're in another little like bubble, and it's just been a whirlwind. And then things along the way, like we went to Pride of Britain, which were amazing, and other things thrown in, that it's kind of just...
Yeah. I think the experiences that we've had this not have happened, kind of put stuff into perspective again, because we were both like, this is not normal, but we're really enjoying it. We're just going to take it as it comes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it was weird. Still is. Like, I still think back and I'm like, if you Google yourself and nothing would ever come up, but then you Google your names when something's happened and it's like, yeah, that did happen. I forgot about that. Yeah, we did do that. I forgot about that as well. Like, it's bizarre. It's so weird.
I think we've just kind of been positive from the first point.
Yeah.
And had that support from the initial of it happening, that it's kind of just carried on.
I think you must have had some real resilience within you already.
Yeah,
by the sounds
I
of it.
think-
And that's kind of, you've both got yourselves to that point through your own hard work and mental state.
Yeah.
being positive.
Definitely.
So you're giving something back now as well, because you're organising your own charity fundraising event, aren't you? At the Metrodome, 7th of June. I'll just remind you of the date. Yeah. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we've started we've been planning it a while now, to be fair, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've probably
After
been
wedding, we started.
Yeah, getting wheels in motion, should you say.
But we have mentioned it for the past couple of years, haven't we?
Yeah.
Like, when it's 10 years, we'd
want like to do another one.
Because we did one the year of the accident.
Right.
So as the accident was in the June, we did a big charity event in the November at the Metrodome. We had 900 people there, and we raised about 23,000
Between 23 and 25, I think it were.
Yeah.
which were amazing. To say it nearly 10 years ago, that's like
A lot. It were a lot of money.
A lot of money. Yeah. So we've decided to do another one.
Yeah. We're just planning on doing it a lot more of an event this time. Last time we did it, it was £10 a ticket. You got a pie and pea supper. There were an auction. It were very much thrown together, weren't it? Obviously,
that's a classic.
I know.
Isn't it,
We had 3-4 months to plan it, if that.
Well, not even that.
Maybe
No.
3 months.
Yeah. Well, June, July, August, September. It was 4 months after accident, and obviously for the first month,
That was just written off.
I can't. I don't think you were thinking about putting an event on. Yeah.
So then we did obviously, like Leah says, between 23 and 25k for 900 people, which were a complete sellout. But we didn't do like a dress code or anything like that. We just kind of did. We want to raise some money. Whereas this time, we're completely stripping it back. We're doing it for around, the capacity's around 450.
Yeah.
So we're doing circle tables, a 10. Three-course dinner, more like wedding attire.
We want to do it as more like a celebration.
Yeah, we want to do it as a celebration event.
How far we've come, and then to say thank you to the people that helped us on the day.
So who was the charities that you're raising the money for?
So, to be fair, we're not raising charity. Well, we're raising charity for Midlands Air Ambulance because they're the ones that saved us on the day. Then the Yorkshire Air Ambulance. We like air ambulance. And then it's a Barnsley charity called LimbBo who support children with limb differences. So there is 3 charities that we're raising for this time.
Yeah.
And how do people get involved then? What do they do? Buy a ticket on
website,
or is
we've got an email address to send basically if you want to buy a ticket.
Or you can message us on Instagram.
You can just message either us on Instagram. But if you do want to get tickets, you can email charityball@mail.com. And tickets are £40 per ticket, which is obviously 3-course dinner, welcome drink and that kind of stuff. Or if you want a table of 10, it's £35 per person, so £3.50 a table. So it should be a really good night. We're really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We've sold over half of the tickets now. So it's 4 months to the date today. So, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. So you should hopefully
we're expecting
get another sellout.
We're expecting it to be sellout, aren't we?
We're hoping it's going to be a sellout.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
So please buy your tickets.
It's all for a very good cause, of
it
course.
Is.
So,
yeah.
so.
All the ticket money is going straight to charity.
Yeah.
Right.
So none of the ticket money is to help fund the evening. It's all going straight to charity.
Yeah, like we're lucky this time round. Like we've got sponsors on board to kind of help fund the evening, which last time we didn't have. The money went straight into the charity event to pay for the event last time. So to say that we raised up to 25k last time just purely from the evening, I think it says a lot.
Yeah.
So we're hoping, I'm personally hoping, I don't know what Leah's thoughts are, but I'm hoping for 20k again this time, which is including ticket sales.
You've already set that too high.
Ticket sales.
You've said it now.
Go low, Joe, then you'll be really happy.
I can't. So yeah, I think we'll be sound at that. I think we can do that easy.
That's your positive mindset. That's
Yeah.
good. I think you'll be fine. Yeah. It sounds brilliant. Whilst you're here, actually, you're both from Barnsley.
Yeah.
Our podcast is about Barnsley as well, and Barnsley people.
Yeah.
But I was having a little chat to you before we started the podcast about the town itself. And you guys go out quite a bit here now, don't you? I believe.
We do like to go out for a drink in town, don't we?
Yeah.
It's to be fair, it's a good night out now. Well, not I wouldn't say night. We don't
Not
want to go out
now.
at night. But
Day.
afternoon.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
like to go in afternoon and like not too late.
Yeah, it's changed so much. Like,
Yeah.
it's
It's
so
beautiful
much better
now.
than what it were. So much better.
It's really nice.
Yeah, and like the bars and stuff. Like, there's so many like little independent bars that we've got now.
You can stop in Barnsley and have bottomless brunch.
Yeah,
You can. There's lots of them popping up.
There
isn't
is.
there is.
Yeah.
And they're good.
Yeah,
We like the salt house, don't we?
yeah.
So you'd never think about moving from Barnsley. You live here now. She's thought about it. Look,
So
Well-
have I.
don't go. Don't leave.
No, we do like Barnsley.
If you're still doing these media things, or are you still getting a lot of interview requests and
Not as
or requests
much.
from
No.
brands and things now with your social media stuff?
There's a few, but not as much as it were back in the day now.
Yeah. See,
The
so
odd
I was,
few.
what I was
So
getting at was you
we
might have to
probably
keep travelling
no,
around to.
Yeah, no. I
No.
think we probably will end up staying in Barnsley. It's
Yeah.
where his family are.
Even if we didn't, we'd probably stay in Barnsley, just go a little bit further afield, out of Barnsley slightly. But I don't think we'll ever actually leave the town. To be fair.
No.
No, it's a great place. It's
Yeah,
a great place.
we like Barnsley.
Yeah.
I've got nothing bad to say about
And you've got the
it.
Metrodome with your charity events,
Yeah.
which is a great venue.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Got lovely parks.
Yeah, like it does get a lot of bad press, but it's actually not that bad.
No,
like
it's not.
there's a lot of decent points to it. To be fair.
You're not far from Manchester. You're not far from
Yeah,
Leeds.
it's a good, like,
it's a good
central-
central place to live in,
Yeah.
isn't it?
no, definitely. And what my sort of final question was about, what would you say to anyone now who's gone through something as traumatic as you guys did, and they're in that position where they don't know what they're doing next, where they're going, and building the confidence up and all that kind of stuff? What kind of advice would you give to someone to stay positive or to get through that?
If people message me, I always say it's going to be really hard. I'm not going to lie to you and say it's running through a field of daisies, but it's going to be hard, but it does get better. It does get easier. Talk to your friends.
Yeah, time's a great healer. 100%.
Talk to your family. And just, we always, like, I used to make, like, goals.
Yeah.
Like, by next year, I want to, I don't know. For when I was learning to, like, walk again, it was like, by this time next year, I want to be able to walk so far without my crutches, and just make those little goals. Better than, like, making something that's just unrealistic. Make a little goal that's not that far away and try and beat that goal, and then make your next one. And that helps you move through it, I'd say.
Yeah, like if you've just had an amputation, for example, and you set yourself a goal to say, next year I'm going to run London Marathon in 6 months, more than likely
It's
it's
not
not
going
going
to
to
happen.
happen.
I don't think I'd be marathon.
No.
Yeah.
But like Leah says, you need to set yourself little goals that they seem out of reach, but they're not. They are slightly achievable. And just when you're ticking little boxes, it's a dopamine hit. Like it is. Like you get something from it.
It's like when people learn to run, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a normal person learns to run, they'll say, right, we'll run 2K. Next time we'll try and run like 2.5.
Yeah.
And slowly you build it up, and that's what I'd say. Like for me, when I was laid in hospital and people were like, oh, you'll have to get a running blade and you'll have to do this and you'll have to do that. And it's like, let's just take a step back.
Yeah.
Not even...
Have you got a running blade?
I have got a running blade now. But let's just take a step back and think, right, I'm not even out of a hospital bed yet.
Yeah.
Let's get to that point. And then let's get a prosthetic. Then let's think about walking, think about going on holiday, doing normal day-to-day things before you think about running, because you don't need that every day. You need to be able to walk and keep up with everything else rather than running. I have now got a running blade.
Yeah.
So you do get
But
there
that was one of your
eventually.
that was one of your goals
And
eventually.
it did take, I don't think I got a running blade until it was about 2019. So 4 years after my accident was then the point where, right, I'm ready to look at this running blade. I'm ready to learn something new. It was like riding a bike.
Yeah.
They were like, right, do you want to go and learn to ride a bike? I'm like, yeah, I'd love to. And I've done it, but I didn't do it 3 months after everything. It was quite a...
Yeah, it's baby steps, isn't it?
It were probably 2 years after. It's just baby steps and taking taking your time. Don't rush things because you're probably just going to end up going
Injuring
backwards.
yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, just time's a great healer. Talk,
Mhm.
and yeah, that's pretty much it. And stay positive, like as positive as you can. You're gonna have bad days, and you're gonna have good days. Like that's just the reality of it.
I think that's everybody in life has
yeah.
good and bad days, don't
Of
they?
course.
Yeah. Well, good luck with the fundraiser.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sure it'll go really well, and
Fingers
you'll
crossed.
smash
I'm
that
sure.
target that
Yeah.
you set for yourself. And with everything else you're doing as well, and with your teaching, with your,
Yeah.
hopefully, are you going back to? So you're still doing the qualification now?
No, I'm not doing my teaching qualification.
Fair enough.
I'm happy where I am.
That's good. There you go.
I go to work
It's-
and I come home and I don't have to think about anything else.
That is the best way to be.
It is.
Yeah. But thank you for joining us today. Oh, do you know what? I've not asked the most important question.
Oh,
Brewed in Barnsley, okay? The name of it is for the people who are from Barnsley and how they've been brewed in the town.
yeah,
So I always ask, do you like tea?
I do. Yorkshire tea.
Yorkshire tea? Joe looks a bit funny. Do you not like tea?
I do, but it gives me really bad headache.
Really?
Yeah, I
I
don't
would have thought
know
that'd be a
why.
withdrawal symptom when you don't have
No,
it.
it gives me really bad headache. So I do. I hate to say this, but I do drink green tea. But if I would to drink tea, it would be a Yorkshire tea.
How would you have it? Milk? Sugars?
Just milk. Like
Yeah.
a builder's tea, quite strong.
Yeah,
A little dash of milk.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
sugar.
builder's tea, 1 sugar.
That's good. We've had people today who've said they had tea without milk. So,
I have started drinking
Sure.
tea without milk,
have you?
just because of
It seems to be becoming a trend.
calories.
It's a trend in Barnsley now. It looks like a really strong builder's tea. Yeah, no milk at
Yeah.
all. But
No, ideally I'd have milk in it, but
I usually ask that question first, but we'll end on that today.
okay.
Right.
But thank you very much for joining me.
No, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Will.